Church family, I cannot believe that it's been 7 weeks since we've been together for our corporate worship. Now, as much as we've tried to incorporate some of the elements of worship, thinking about things like music and Bible study and even sharing the Lord's Supper together on Good Friday, it's just not the same as being together. You know, a few weeks ago, a friend of mine texted me and he said that during this virtual church thing, he was recording his sermon and he said, "I can't get over how weird it is preaching to a camera." Then he asked me, he said, "How long do you think it will take until this begins to feel normal?" My response to him was that it should feel strange. I hope that it never feels normal. Why? Well, because we weren't created to do church in isolation. We weren't made to do church in our homes. And I hope that it does feel strange, should not be in your small groups, to not have the conversation with our church family that you're so used to having, whether it's in the hallways or somewhere else before the service starts. What you are missing is what makes First Baptist so great. It's our people. Friends, we were made for relationships. God created us to enjoy each other and to share life with one another. And that is what I'm hoping that we will be able to return to shortly. You know, I never dreamed that it would be over 2 months before we would be back together, but here we are. And I want to speak to you very clearly. While we're not sure, we don't have a lot of specifics to share with you as far as what it will look like once we are given the opportunity to return right back here to 123 Church Street, there are some things that, well, I just want you to understand. Friends, just because the governor says that we can return back to our church campus, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone should just rush back to our campus. In fact, if you are one of those in the vulnerable categories, please know how much we love you, and quite frankly, it's because we love you that we encourage you to wait to return until you're comfortable. Now, when we begin having services back on campus, we will continue to have the live stream option that'll have the entire service. We're talking about the music, the introduction, all the way until the end, and it will be at 10:30. You're not going to miss a thing. In fact, a full live stream of our service is something that it's here for good. So now you no longer have excuse for missing service when you're sick or even out of town in the future. Also, whenever we're given the all clear, we don't know what the number limit will be as to how many people we can actually have in one room. We are also intentionally not going to be the first church in town to open up our doors once we're given the okay. Now, to be honest with you, because we value your health and because we love you and we love those who are most vulnerable in our congregation, we may in fact wait a week or two after other churches open just to be cautious so that we don't see an outbreak or a second wave, as some are saying, due to larger groups that are gathering. Again, this is certainly not because we want to extend our time away, but it's because we want to do everything that we can to make sure that we open back up in a safe manner. Now, right now, we are planning on continuing all of our small groups through Zoom or our other offline options, probably through the summer. However, we plan on having 2 identical services. Both will be in the sanctuary, one at 9 and one at 10:30, so that we can spread out and, as they've been saying, socially distance. But again, when this occurs, it all depends on how many we are allowed to have in the sanctuary at one time. Okay, so as you can tell, we have plans, and then we have contingency plans, and then we even have contingency plans for our contingency plans. But here's where you can help us. Tomorrow, in my weekly word that I'll email to you, you're going to receive a survey. Now, we want to hear from you as to your attitude towards returning to worship services and really all other church-related activities. So your response to this survey, it's going to help us make decisions as to how quickly we move forward and where we place our greatest emphasis. So I strongly encourage you, would you take just 5 minutes to complete, I think it's 10 questions on that survey that we're going to send out tomorrow. And by the way, don't forget that this Sunday is Mother's Day, and we've got an incredible opportunity for you to have a meal provided for your family. This isn't just a rinky-dink meal. We're not talking about Lucky Charms or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, okay? We are talking about Skip Smith and Mark Mudrick grilling out the chicken. We're talking about Mariah Jarrett providing loaded mashed potatoes, green beans. Jennifer Ferris is making cupcakes. It's something you do not want to miss. This is something that's a gift from our church to you, but you have to sign up by tomorrow. So by the end of Tuesday, we want to make sure you sign that up. Church family, I hope you know how much I love you, how much I miss being together. I also want just to thank you for your faithfulness to pray for our services, your faithfulness not only to watch and participate in worship, but to share. And finally, your faithfulness to support our church's mission through your tithes and offerings. God has been so good to First Baptist, and I hope to see you soon, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.